Hi everyone, welcome to our video lesson. For today, I will be sharing to you a topic about significant figures, but this time we will be doing calculations. This is still part of our lesson in measurement. I do encourage you to take down notes on tab 3 of your binder so that you have reference in this lesson. Also, if you can have a calculator standby, that will also be very helpful for you to do some of my drills. To make our lesson easy, we will be putting two operations together and then we will do some drills afterwards. First two operations, addition and subtraction. The rule that we have to follow is the sum or difference of the measurement should contain the least number of decimal places as the final answer. Carry units accordingly. Keep in mind we are doing decimal places, least number of decimal place. Let's look at some examples. Example number 1. We will be doing a addition. So I have two measurements here, 3.45762 centimeters and 4.32 centimeters. We have to add them. So to make the work easy, we have to do first the calculation. So I calculated it and I got 7.77762 centimeters. Again, keep in mind, this is not a math class, so we have to be very careful of carrying your unit or units correctly. So this is addition. All you have to do is to just carry over the unit on your final answer. So CM. Now, let's go back to the rule. According to the rule, we have to make sure that we are taking the least number of decimal place. So let's look at in this measurement here. So this is the decimal point. So all you have to do is to look at how many places or numbers do you see after the decimal point. So here we can see that there are 5, so meaning there are 5 places after the decimal point. On 4.32, I see 3 and 2 after the decimal point, so meaning there are 2 places after the decimal point. So therefore, between these two, which should we follow to express our final answer? It should be the least one. So let's go back to the calculated answer. So I need to grab from the decimal point, we need to get only 2 decimal places. So 7, 7, and I make the cut. After the cut, I look at the number here. So this time we need to follow the rules of rounding off. This is a 7, so I need to round up that 7 to an 8. So therefore, the final answer is 7.78 centimeters. Example number 2. This time, let's do subtraction. You have 64.362 liters minus 4.2 liters. The calculated answer or difference for this is 60.162 liters. This is what I got from the calculator. Now let's go back to so that we can determine which of the two that we will follow to finalize your answer. So here I see that there are 1, 2, 3 places after the decimal point, and the second measurement I only see 1. So between these two, which will be our basis, should be 4.2. So let's go back to your calculated answer. You got 60.162. So after the decimal point, I'm just going to grab the 1 and then I cut. After the cut, let's look at if we need to round it up, and it's a 6. So therefore, I need to round this 1 to a 2. So our final answer is 60.2 liters. I hope you were able to follow me as I explained the two examples for addition and subtraction. The next slide that you will see is or are drills that I would like you to do on your own. So please copy this and then we can discuss this eventually in class. All right, I'm going to proceed to the last two operations, multiplication and division. The rule now is the product or quotient of the measurements should contain the least number of significant figures. This time, we're talking about significant figures. As your final answer, carry unit or units accordingly. Let's look at some examples. Example number 3. Let's do a multiplication. So I have a 64.33 centimeters times 2.1416 centimeters. So let's look at the answer using your calculator. I got 137 point, there is a point there, 769128. Now, let's be very careful with our unit here, okay? You are doing multiplication, so therefore your unit should also be adjusted. So cm times a cm, that should give us cm squared or centimeter squared. All right, let's go back to the rule. According to the rule, for us to know the final answer, we need to find out which of the two contains the least number of significant figures. So if you see here above, I already gave the answer for you. So here, how many do we see? It's a 4. How many do we see here? It's a 5. So between these two, which is the least? The first measurement. So let's go back here. You have to get 4 significant figures. So that should be 1, 3, 7, and 7. So this cut here is wrong. Okay? And that should actually be here. Okay? After the 7, because you need to get 4. Now you look at the number after the cut, and that's a 6. So therefore, I need to round it up to an 8. So let's write that down properly. It should be 137.8 centimeter squared. Example number 4. This time we will do division. 1,949 grams divided by 6.33 ml or milliliters. Now I wrote already the calculated answer, and the answer is 307.8988942 gram per ml. So look at how I have handled the unit, okay? This is division, and I see two different units. It's a gram and an ml. So all you have to do is to copy that, and then you make a line in between them, and you read that as gram per ml. Okay, let's go back and find out which has contain or which of the two contains the least significant figures. So here I can see that this is a 4, and this one I can see that this is a 3. So therefore, we're going to follow the 3 significant figures. So going back on the calculated answer, I'm going to grab 3, 0, and 7, and then cut. After the cut, I look at the number, it's an 8. So I have to round up this 7 with another with 1, so that would be an 8. So what's the final answer now is 308 gram per ml. I hope you are able to follow me again for the last two operations for multiplication and division. To practice this, on my next slide, you have another drills that you would like to do on your own. All right, this is the end of our video lesson. I want you now to go back on the drills I have given to you, and we can discuss that in class. Thank you for listening.